Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome back to Elite Academy and welcome back to another video of our daily issue analysis Dia. So today again we have come up with one very important topic from the current affairs. Hope you all are enjoying and hope you all are making use of the handwritten notes which we are providing in our Telegram channel. And yes, we have also started our current affairs classes and two classes we have conducted till date. We started on 20th August and if you are in our Telegram channel, do check. We have provided the classes of first week, first 3, 4 classes we are providing for free so that you can get an understanding that how we should cover the current affairs in holistic manner from prelims point of view, from mains point of view, from essay point of view, how to collect information. So that is also for empowerment. And yes, if you are considering of taking joining the classes, so you can have a fair look at all the features, the videos. It can be a demo understanding for you. Okay, so that is the purpose. It has been shared, so please make use of it. And now let's start the discussion of the topic of the day. So today we are going to discuss about India's refugee policy. And first of all, we should know that why it is in news. So there was an article in Hindu where they have discussed what is India's policy on Rohingyas, and it was on 21st August itself. Okay, so yesterday, day before yesterday, this was there in news, and also few days back, that is somewhere around 17th and 18th August, there was a controversy when the housing of Rohingyas Muslim in India came to light when the Union Home Minister overruled the Housing Minister's tweet on providing flats to Rohingya. So what happened? The Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, he lauded the move to shift the refugees into EWS flats in the national capital in Delhi. And thus he mentioned that we are providing them all with the UNHRC IDs. So this is what he tweeted. But after his statement, on the housing of Rohingyas, it triggered a row on social media as well as a political tussle between BJP and AAP. And then the Union Home Minister Amit Shah has stepped in to clarify the issue, saying that no such decision has been taken regarding their shifting. So because of this, it has been in news from 17, 18, and yesterday and day before yesterday also. Okay, so in this context, we are going to discuss India's refugee policy. Okay. So, with respect to India's refugee policy, first we should know India's track record or India's stand over such issues of refugee. So, let's understand it. So, India does not have a clear cut domestic policy or a law for refugees. And in fact, India is not a signatory of United Nations Convention on Refugees. So, whenever we are talking about United Nations conventions on refugees, what does it mean? It means that there is a Convention of 1951, the Refugee Convention, and its 1967 protocol is there. So India is not signatory of both of these. Okay, so what happens? In India, be it legal or illegal migrants or refugees, whosoever is coming from outside, or they are all treated as foreigners. Okay, and they fall under this Passport Act of 1967 and the Foreigners Act of 1946. So what is happening here? The non-Indian national, they are treated as foreigners independent of their specific legal status. So this is India's stand, you can say, or India's the status or track record, or since there is no refugee policy, so how do we deal with this such matters? Okay. So in India, as we told that all the foreigners are everybody legal illegal they are termed as foreigners. And when we are saying foreigners, if we are talk about the undocumented national, all foreign undocumented nationals, they are governed as per the provisions of the Foreigners Act 1946, the Registration of Foreigners Act 1939, the Passport Entry into India Act 1920, and the Citizenship Act 1955. Now you will question yourself that क्या ये सारे नाम याद रखने हैं? How all do we need to remember all these acts? So remember the Citizenship Act, remember the Foreigners Act 1946, Passport Act of 1967. I think if you remember these three acts, that will be good enough to substantiate your points in the answers. Then it will look more specific. And also the if even though we don't have any specific law for the protection of the refugees, the Constitution of India grants certain rights: the right to equality, Article 14, and right to life and liberty, Article 21, to all its non-citizens as well. Okay, so this is the status from the Constitution point of view. Okay, are we done till here? Let's see next. Okay, so let's analyze the status of refugees in India. So, status of refugees, if we analyze, so even without any formal commitment, India has a long tradition of addressing the concerns of refugees in more humane manner, and we know that. So, we have Tibetan Buddhists who are refugee in India. Sri Lankan Tamils are there. These are the some examples. Whenever their life was endangered, India protected them. So this shows our compassionate value. This is how we are guided, and we ensure the welfare and interest of our citizens also. That is our prime focus, and that is one of the reason when our honorable prime minister or the present government, they told that why we are not accepting refugees this time, because of the national interest, be it security point of view, be it of resources point of view. Okay, so we'll see that. So status of refugee, we have Tibetan Buddhist and Sri Lankan Tamils. Okay, and because of the military coup which happened in Myanmar and the subsequent crackdown by junta, the it led to the influx of Rohingya Muslim community, which created a lot of controversy in regarding, like, in what context we are discussing. New Delhi is viewing this as a problem. The government is viewing this as a problem, and how they are even considered as threat to national security. If we analyze the data, the status of refugees with the help of data, then we have approx 94,000 Sri Lankan refugees in India and 1,50,000, 1.5 lakhs, you can remember, Tibetan refugees are there in India. And there are other refugees as well. Okay, the data according to the body is there, NGO is there, Human Rights Watch. So according to Human Rights Watch, there are around 40,000 Rohingyas currently residing in the country in India. Okay, and half of them are registered with United Nations Human Rights Commission, UNHRC. Okay, so they get protection and access to basic healthcare, education, and other essential supports from UNHRC. India is not doing anything. Okay, this is one aspect. There are other refugees as well from Myanmar and Afghanistan also, and other places which are registered and protected by UNHR and HCR, that is United Nations Human Commission or Human Rights Commission. Okay, so Human Rights Commission. So they are registered. So they are approximately somewhere 43,000. Okay, and UNH and HCR, they are protecting them as per the mandate of 1951 Refugee Convention. So they are registered and they are protected. So this is the status with respect to the data aspect. So now, if we analyze the India and its international commitment with respect to refugees, then we will see that the India is the largest refugee receiving country in South Asia. And the South Asian region, if we talk about Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, you know the countries. All these nations have made an organization. So SARC, we know, but none of the said nation under the SARC has signed the Convention on Refugees as well as the protocol. So India is not a signatory to United Nations Convention on Refugees and protocol. And we have discussed that all these South Asian countries, they have also not signed. And still in South Asia, India is the largest country to receive the refugees. Okay, so India receives largest number of refugees. Okay, so this is one aspect. But India do have signed other protocols: international convention, torture convention, a convention on elimination of all forms of racial discrimination, convention on rights of child. So you know this, right? uh, Okay, so India, as a part of the customary international laws, principle of the refoulement, which means there cannot be forceful repatriation. So, as part of that, India is obliged to adhere this customary international laws principle of refoulement. So, according to which, in this, no forceful repatriation can happen. And we told that India has also signed the Torture Convention. So, according to the Article 3 of the Torture Convention, It says that no state party shall expel, return means refoul, or extradite a person to other state where there are substantial grounds for believing that they would be in danger of being subjected to torture. So if there are chances, or if there is situation or grounds are there where we can analyze that they will be subjected to torture under article 3 of torture convention which India has signed, we the state party shall not forcefully send anyone to that the respective country. So this is the India's international commitment with respect to the Refugee Convention and other conventions and their status in South Asia. So finally, what happens with the refugees? So these refugees, actually, there is no law that actually permits refugees to seek any social security, be it residence or food or health facilities or housing, job, anything. In fact, sometimes it also happens that most of the time they are not given proper documentation to those who are fleeing their countries. They are not given proper documentation, thus they are not able to seek job or any aspect. So this is no social security. Next, according to MHA says, Ministry of Home Affairs, they says that illegal immigrants, they are detected, detained and deported under the provisions of Passport Act 1920 and the Foreigners Act 1946. And this power of identification and deporting is there with the state governments and union territories. So once a foreigner has been apprehended by police that they have immigrated illegally without any document, then they will be produced in front of the local court. First detection, then detention will happen. After detection, they will be detained. So when they will be presented in the local court, if they are found guilty, they can be imprisoned for 3 months to 8 years. After completing their sentence, the court orders deportation. So that is the next level. And the foreign inmates are moved to detention centers till the country of the origin verifies and accepts them. So this is the process. What happens with them when while they are in the country, and what happens when they are detected, detained, and deported. So this is according to MHA, the provisions are there. Okay. Now let's understand the rights of the refugees. So under international law, refugees have two broad rights. They have the right to seek asylum in another country, and they have right not to be returned to country where they face a threat to their life. So these are the principles which are also enshrined in 1951 Refugee Convention and its 1967 Protocol. And there are other specialized international laws and human rights principle which also protect the interest of the, or which are also applicable on refugees. So the other specialized laws and protection are related to the International Convention Against Torture, CAT, Convention Against Torture, then United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, UNDHR, okay. Then we have the International Convention on the Rights of the Child, CRC, okay, Rights of the Child, Convention on Rights of the Child. So like this, the specialized laws and protection, they also protect the rights and the interest of the refugees. Now we shall discuss the reasons behind that why India is not signing 1951 convention. Let's discuss that one by one, why India is not signing the 1951 convention and 1967 protocol. So the first reason is the definition. There is dispute, or there is no common understanding on the definition of refugee itself. So refugee versus migrant. So these two terms have distinct and different meanings. Sometimes it leads to confusion also. So India has a huge problem of people crossing the Indian territory illegally. So they are termed as illegal foreigners by Indian Ministry of Home Affairs. If, from the neighboring countries, whosoever is coming illegally, we call them illegal foreigners. Not because they face state persecution, but in search of better economic opportunities. They would be termed migrants since the developed world doesn't want to take the responsibilities for this category of people. Okay, so there is a problem with the refugees and the migrants. Migrants, they come mostly in search of better economic opportunities. In case of India, what we are saying, we are calling them illegal foreigners. Okay, because they are entering the territory without document illegally. So our stand is with respect to definition itself, we have huge problem. Next, the issue is related to sovereignty. So we believe that there will be such illegal immigrants, illegal foreigners will be threat to the sovereignty. So Article 35 of this convention, which we are talking about, it's vests the responsibility of supervising the refugee processing on United Nations Human Rights Commission. But India doesn't want its sovereignty to be threatened by any international community. If any international community is visiting India and they are monitoring the process of refugee processing, then India doesn't is not happy with that. India doesn't want that. So according to Government of India, migration is a matter of bilateral matter. It is not a multilateral relation. So it is a matter of bilateral relation. So India's point is that international agreements can rest if they are coming, they can restrict the freedom of action, and it will be threat to sovereignty, and we don't want that. Next is related to security. India is also fearful of the uncontrolled infiltration of terrorists, criminals, and unwarranted elements into our soil, which can create the problem of security, internal security challenges. Already, we are facing the security challenge because of this illegal immigration. So, India doesn't want that. Next is unfair treatment by UNHCR. So, it has been observed, for example, in 1971 owing to the substantive presence of Bengalis in northeastern states of Tripura, Assam, or Meghalaya, their state authorities were concerned that these Bangladeshi influx would lead to indigenous people becoming minority in their own land. So this was our concern. So, in spite of all these problems, India being faced by India, what is the stand of UNHCR? UNHCR sees that India as a state where local integration of refugees is easily achievable. Why, bhai? क्यों ऐसे करना? Right? It shows that UNHCR's solution for refugees in India is their local integration instead of their repatriation, thus leading to heavy burden on India. So this unfair treatment India is not happy with. So UNHCR believes that this integration is easily achievable in India. So but India doesn't want that. India want to repatriate them. We don't want local integration. So this is unfair treatment approach by UNHCR. Also, because of the scarcity of resources, we already know that we are the second most populous country in the world and we are still developing country. We don't have enough resources to take care of refugees. We don't have enough resources to take care of our people itself. Forget about taking care of the refugees. So India sees that it is highly unfair to see India as a place of permanent safety for refugees because we are already struggling with the scarcity of resources. Okay, so because of all these issues, India is not signing the 1951 convention or its protocol of 1967. Okay, so keeping in mind this status, keeping in mind the India's refugee policy, the number we have seen, statistics we have seen that what protection should be guaranteed, why India is not signing, what are the arguments of not signing and status, we have seen so many things. Now what should be the way forward? So whenever we are talking about, since we have not signed any convention, we strongly need a domestic law on refugees. Specific legislation is required so that we there will be clear cut understanding over such issues. Next, 1951 convention is not suitable in South Asian context. This where the countries like India, they frequently experience large influx of refugees. Okay, so definitely it is not, and we have already discussed that in South Asia, India is the largest country where largest number of refugees are there when we compare it with our neighboring countries. Okay, so this influx of refugees is in large number is happening already in India. So this is not suitable for South Asian context. Also, even though we have not signed it, and even if we don't have any law, our administrative policies and judicial interventions have served as alternatives in the absence of the sound domestic legislation. But yes, if we talk about practical and long term solution, then we should come up with a law. But we should always take care of our security and national interest. So security and national interest is prime. But yes, if there will be a national refugee law, it will streamline the status of determining the procedure. So fair status determination process is must whenever we are taking care of refugees. So you write all these things as a way forward. Do mention about, so balance it. You have to write it diplomatically. Yes, our safety, security, and national interest we should take care, but yes, fair status of determination is important so that we can do justice with their rights as well. And we need domestic law on refugees since we have not signed it. And already our administrative principles and judicial interventions time to time have been taking care of the problems or the situation of the refugees in India. Okay, so this is it with respect to the India's refugee policy. Hope you got very good understanding that why it was in news and what is the status, how we are dealing, what is the status with respect to international conventions, and what are the problems why India is not signing, and what should be the way forward. Okay, so take care, guys. We will meet tomorrow and revise very well. And yes, a gentle reminder, we have given the link on our Telegram channel about the free classes which we have extended. The access is being provided for 1 week for our paid course ACE, that is Edit Current Affairs Exclusive. There you will get an understanding that how you should cover the current affairs from the newspaper in a holistic manner. So you can go through that. It will help you, it will empower you. Okay, and also you will get the handwritten notes of today's video on our Telegram channel. Okay guys, see you all, take care and have a good day.